Staggy Cross. Hi, my name is Anna.
And I'm Peyton.
And today, what are we doing today?
Today, we are back with another comeback reaction to a group that we just recently were introduced to, like a week ago.
Yeah.
We'll be reacting to Dreamcatcher's BOCA.
So because it's such a fast turnaround between our last reaction to them and this comeback reaction, and we've been really busy, we haven't really had a lot of time to get to know the members more, so sorry in advance. But that being said, we have learned more information from reading the comments. So this comeback is connected in a storyline to Scream, which we watched. So thank you everyone for leaving comments that we were able to read and learn more information about. And also we have watched the teasers for this comeback.
Yes.
And yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
It's the tree in the beginning again.
Yeah, part 2, Dystopia, Lose Myself.
I just thought of Eminem, Lose Yourself.
I noticed in the dance teaser, they do like this a lot.
Oh, are they like holding something?
I don't know.
Oh, what? Oh, the background vocals though. Using them as an instrument. I love things like that. Is her name? No, I don't want to get it wrong. What is this?
Who is that like hidden person, you know?
Right, with the mask, but they're also really distorted, the video of them.
This I think is very interesting when they're in like the black hard-hitting costumes with that beautiful background.
Yeah.
Like the...
That was the teaser. That's the girl I like, right?
I think so.
Xion.
Oh, that's pretty. The swirl.
Oh. They look beautiful.
Who's wearing the yellow dress?
Right? Oh, I also like the pink because it matches her hair. But I think it's such a contrast because, yeah, they have like the really soft, like kind of fairy tale like.
Yeah.
And then there's also like the dark part. Oh, that shot was beautiful. Oh, what is this electric line?
In the back.
Yeah. What?
What does this mean?
Polka? It sounds like they're saying porca though, instead of polka. Arrow.
I love bow and arrow.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa. They look like different goddesses or something.
I was thinking that too, especially
Yeah.
when they had the bow and arrow. I was like, Artemis?
Are the gods at war? I don't know.
Oh, and there's the mask.
Yeah.
I'd have to go read the lyrics.
It sounds like they're saying Geborka. So before we make any comments, just to let y'all know, we did look up the meaning of the song a little bit. And we looked up the lyrics, but found out what polka means. So they're using it as like Spanish for mouth. So that makes the song make a lot more sense. Okay.
And on that note, so I think first of all, knowing that it's a continuation of Scream, like that's the storyline, primed me to already be relating it to Scream in my mind. They are distinctive songs and dances, but there are definitely similarities. And I think that makes sense because if they're trying to tell one continual storyline, then they're not going to be like super different. Like I was thinking about in a full-length ballet, yes, there are different movements, but like there's one distinct artistry throughout it or something like that. So like that made sense to me. Once we figured out that it meant mouth in Spanish, I was like, this makes so much more sense. Because like we were saying in the music video where we were like, oh, it kind of feels like they're going to war or something. Like that's kind of what the song is about anyway. It's like they're going to fight back against like hatred or like words that are as sharp as thorns, and they're not going to let people like open their mouths, that sort of thing. And so obviously, like, yes, this did then make a lot more sense, like I'm going to keep your mouth shut, that sort of thing. But I thought it was especially interesting because the way their fingers are curled, it's kind of like the thorns on a rose or something.
It's like a Venus flytrap.
Oh, that too. So it's like a Venus flytrap. Oh, that's better. And they're like keeping it down so that they can't hurt other people. I did watch the dance, and it does, like, the dance itself feels a little bit like going to war because it never lets up. Like, it never lets up. I know that in some of the comments on our last Dreamcatcher video, some people had said that the members themselves had said that this was their hardest dance yet. And like, yeah, I can see why. Because technical skill level, I don't think it's like so much more advanced than than like Scream, which was their most recent one. But it doesn't stop. Like in the chorus, there's that electric line happening in the background, and I think every note of that line has a movement to it. And I was just like, wow, I'm tired watching this. So like, because I was thinking about it while we were watching it, and then after we talked about it as a war, but then the bridge especially felt like they were marching to war. Like there's one person in the center, and then everyone else is like slowly creeping towards them, and it felt like marching to war, like there's about to be an attack. They definitely carried over that concept of like fighting very well into the dance while still making it artistic. And then yeah, the music video itself was just so beautiful, and it really did feel like queens getting ready to go to war for their country, or like you were saying, like goddesses like getting ready to go to war. I think that's all my comments. I'm kind of just like feel like I went to war. Anna's turn.
So before I talk about like the musical side of the song, I actually wanted to talk about my interpretation of it because it's a little bit different from yours. I think I focus more on like how words can be used as like a double-edged sword. It mentions thorns, and then when I think of thorns, it's like, oh, a rose with thorns. So it's like beautiful, but it also can hurt you. And then also in the lyrics at one point, it's like the killer who's also protecting you. I think it's very impactful that they have a song with this meaning, considering, okay, so like K-pop fans know about like netizens and their very harsh words and comments online and how that can affect people. And I'm talking about specifically in the industry because like no matter what, words can hurt people a lot. But specifically in light of like how a lot of stories have been coming out and more public recently, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I really feel like I'm not reading too much into it. I think it's a good meaning when you look at the lyrics, because the words, the comments that the general public have, they can be so quick to praise a person, but then they can also be so quick to be very harsh and come down on a person. I think that that's a really powerful thing for a group to be willing to comment on. But onto more lighthearted things, talking about the music now. I mentioned in the beginning of the reaction that the background vocals that are used in the beginning of the song, how it's used kind of like an instrument instead of just like background harmonies or like oohs or ahs happening. I've said it before in our videos and I'll say it again. I love when songs do that because I'm really into acapella. I used to do acapella because it just has like a different tone and texture to it. It adds a different layer. I mean, vocals are vocals. I've talked about their vocals in our last Dreamcatcher reaction, so I feel like I don't need to like beat a dead horse with that. The last musical comment that I really had was, so we found out that boca is Spanish for mouth, and when we found that out, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, because I felt like I was getting kind of like Latin elements in the song before finding that out, but I didn't want to be like misinterpreting it because I was like, no, that's not right. Am I really like hearing that correctly? So I looked it up just to make sure, and there's this beat that they have underlying throughout like basically the entire song, except for like certain intense parts where it gets really rock. But starting from the beginning, they use a clave rhythm. And it's kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, da, 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 da. It's kind of like that. And you hear that from the beginning of the song all the way through. And that rhythm is like very distinctive of a lot of different types of Latin music. I thought that was really cool that they did that, because it's like, you know? Alright, but anyways, that's all of my comments. So TLDR for the video is, this is our third song that we're hearing from Dreamcatcher, and I think our intrigue from the last video was worth it because we both enjoyed this comeback and found a lot of different cool interpretations from it. Hopefully our interpretations are correct, who knows.
But that being said, if you liked this video and you also enjoyed Dreamcatcher's comeback, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and bye!